And hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Tom Sawyer Show here on HBC TV 25, brought to you by Wellington's Pub and Grill. I'm Justin Barrientos. Thanks for joining us. And joining us, as always, head coach Tom Sawyer, and you brought in a friend with you.
Yeah, I brought a little little weapon with us today. I thought that would be appropriate. Yeah, we brought the sledge that we brought back home from Southwest, and it's the second year in a row now that we have it here housed in Winona and show it off during recruiting. But it's fun to play for trophies, especially a giant one like this. Right. It's 7 feet long, so pretty fun for our guys.
Can you give us, again, the history of it in case people don't know?
Yeah, back in 2008, Brent Ewell, one of our captains, we had a defensive award each week that the guy that worked the hardest carried around the sledgehammer for the week. Had it in his locker, took it home, all that, and he put it on the bus and brought it with him to the game at Southwest. Well, during the pregame, he took it out in the middle of the field and set it down, and happened to be right on their logo, and they took offense to it, and after the game, they took off and came over and tried to steal the sledge. Well, our guys then, we're not going to let that happen. So it became kind of a mini melee. And even Larry Holstead was out there throwing some punches. Well, not really, but we had a lot of fun after that talking about it. And so that's how it was born back in 2008. And now it's a friendly rivalry that we put together with Southwest, and it's really fun. Our kids love playing for it.
And this is the third year that this trophy has been awarded.
Yep, they won it the first year, and we wanted to get it warmed up, and now we got to put away it. It's got a pony blanket and everything else that we need to have for the sledge. So very excited about having it again here in Winona.
And I see you guys made an upgrade. You put a little plaque on there with the score.
Well, we try to do things first class at our place. We don't want to just hit people with it. We want it to look nice when we hit people with it, but really have a lot of fun with it. It's a big novelty, and it's really big in recruiting. Kids love that kind of stuff. We have rivalry games, and we have created one with Southwest.
Very good. And this actually has its own Twitter account, too, that I saw that they used last year. I don't know if they've really used it a lot since then, but probably get that fired up again now that you have it in your possession again.
Absolutely. You bet. A lot of fun.
All right. Well, we can move this along here.
All right. We'll take this over. Owen, you can take this.
Talk about the game itself.
Sure.
It was an interesting start to the game. I guess there was a fumble, which led to a Mustang touchdown, and then that was their only score of the game. Yeah, we,
one thing we talked about all week was trying to start fast, and we did until we turned it over. On the second play, Jake Blue on a reverse dumped the ball, and kid made a nice play, and they scooped it up, and they scored a couple plays later. But I think it also woke us up. We kind of limped our way into the game. We had a lot of kids that weren't playing or played very little in the game. In fact, we had 8 starters out at one time. So that made us all pretty nervous. But on the next drive, we took it to town and went the distance and put it in. So from that part on, really, it was a warrior day.
Yeah, 45 unanswered points in the game. So obviously 45-7, the final score in that one. Can you talk about how the offense played after they kind of woke up, and just where were you with the rest of the game? Yeah,
I thought it was really good. Owen Burke had his second start of the game. He started his first one back at Minot when Darren was down with a foot injury, and Owen stepped in and he played exceptionally well. Very pleased with how he played. He was poised. He ran around. It looked like he was back in high school having some fun. So I think that put everybody at ease, that he was comfortable, he had good protection, and he did some nice things when he wasn't. He dumped the ball off, got rid of it, carried it himself. So it looked like our future, and we were very excited about that. But offensively, guys up front played very well. We ran the ball for 200 yards against a pretty stingy front. And we just got into sync again offensively, and very excited about where we're going.
All right, in the running game, Eric Berth and Landon Jacobson both had really good games too.
Yeah, and in fact, Sam Santiago Lloyd carried the ball a bunch too. So we really had all 3 running backs. That was the game plan going in. Our goal right now is to be as healthy as we can for this week and maybe some other weeks. So we knew we were going to share duties there, but Eric Berth led us. He did a nice job, and those guys really blocked well and took pretty good care of the football.
And it's even more important to be healthy. It's a short week. We'll get to that in just a minute. But I want to get to special teams, especially Jake Blue. Another impressive day for Jake Blue, 104 yards in punt return yardage. I guess the question is, are you surprised that people are still punting in his direction?
Well, I'm going to say it on air that I think they should. His luck's going to fall apart, so keep kicking it to him. But I don't know what the deal is, but we sure don't want to let anybody touch it. We'll take a chance on having a short kick out of bounds to good returners. But Jake has got a knack for it. We've talked about it before. It's a gift. Not everybody has it. And Alan May was very good at it. Nate Gruber was exceptional at it. We've had a bunch along the way, but Jake, as a sophomore, is ripping up the league right now. So very big weapon for us to flip the field, both on the punt return and also on the kick return as well.
He already has the single season punt return yardage record at 481 yards. He's third all time in just his second year behind Carson Walsh and Kevin Curtin. Those are both players that you had, so you're qualified to say this. Is he the best punt returner that you've seen at Winona State?
He has the most natural ability, I think. You know, those guys are exceptional. I mean, Kevin Curtin was the most decorated back we've ever had. You know, and you talk about all three of those guys, Carson Walsh, of course, both of those guys were Harlan Hill candidates, which is the best player in the country in Division II. Jake has that kind of ability, but he has a more natural feel. He's fearless. In fact, he caught one as he was leaning into a guy on the way. So he's fearless, and like I said, it's natural. So he's probably the most natural of the bunch.
Okay, let's talk a little bit defense, because the defense really showed up too against Southwest. Kind of overall, how the defense played.
You know, they played really, really well, Justin. And, you know, we didn't have Mike Imperiali, although he played a few snaps. Mike Ferrante didn't make the trip. Cam Gavin didn't play in the game. Ryan Kane didn't play in the game. So for a beat-up defensive squad, we just kept playing. Carter Duxbury was fantastic. Luke Teague was unbelievable. You know, when guys just are playing and they get a chance to play, they just keep going. In fact, Trey Tellez, who had a touchdown in the game, deflected a ball to himself in the end zone. He played defensive end, where usually he's a linebacker. So we just took our best talent and put them on the field. And these are young guys running around out there. So, and of course, Andrew Spencer is special. So, yeah, they're playing exceptional again this last week.
One other name we got to put out there, because we love the local guys, Jacob Stanislawski forces a fumble that set up a touchdown drive for Winona State. Talk about his play so far.
Well, you know, as a true freshman, he got thrown in the fire. We had a couple guys get hurt early in the year. A couple guys didn't come back that we thought were going to. So we put him in, and he's done a nice job. And it's really hard to play defensive line in this league, and it's a struggle for him at times because the game is so fast. They don't huddle. They just keep coming at you, and you're trying to figure out what the language is compared to what he was doing last year. But he had an exceptional game. He hasn't got a ton of reps this year, but he's going to be fantastic once he gets it all sorted out. So I'm really excited for him and again for the Windhawks.
All right, just a couple more minutes left in this segment, and you were talking about how tough D2 football is, but especially the NSIC. And, you know, it's kind of hard to explain just how tough the division is, so we'll let the numbers speak for itself. The latest American Football Coaches Association poll came out. Winona State is number 17. Also from the NSIC, Minnesota State still number 1. Sioux Falls number 13. And now Duluth receiving votes. They were kind of the outliers, but now they've moved up. They're 8-2. They've moved up. So you have 4 teams in the NSIC in the top 25 in all of Division II.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how Sioux Falls is ahead of us since we beat them in that poll, but you know, we moved up 1. It's great to see, like we've talked about. Every week is tough. There's a couple teams that are struggling right now, but the South Division exceptionally good. When you talk about Mankato, Sioux Falls, and us right now, and then you take teams like Wayne State, who could have been 6-0 to start the year with 1 kick, and they'd have been there. And Upper Iowa is another really good football team. So you start thinking about, you know, what Division II football is. You start looking at the NSIC and going, okay, we could get 3 teams in the tournament, and that hasn't happened for a very, very long time, if ever. And so I think it just shows the dominance that our league has in football right now.
We usually talk about injuries later on, and we will, but we have to mention, you said Owen Burke gets a second start. Darren Bankin, was he injured coming into this game? Yeah,
he had a concussion the week before at Mankato. Got hit on one of those hits, and you know, we don't talk about it during the week because we didn't know if he was going to come back or not. But going into the week, we repped Owen all week. He was ready to go, and it's a lot easier for a quarterback when he's got the whole week to prepare. So we made a decision earlier that Darren wasn't going to play. He has practiced already this week, so I think he'll be fine. But we know that we got a great quarterback in Owen, so if Darren doesn't go, we'll go win another game with Owen and get his 3rd victory in a row.
All right, sounds good. Coming up, we're going to have Owen Burke on the show as he joins us here on the Tom Sawyer Show, but we'll take a break. Back with Owen and more about Winona State football here on TV25.
With so many new items on the menu at Wellington's Pub and Grill, you're in for some tough decisions. 6 different salads, homemade soups, huge wraps, juicy steaks, the Wells' own smokehouse ribs, and as always, the best burgers in town. See, we told you it wasn't going to be easy. Log on to wellingtonspubandgrill.com for daily lunch and evening specials. With so many choices for lunch and dinner, you can never come to this well too often.
Hewitt. No way.
Did he make that catch?
Racing is about a whole lot more than just cars going around a track. It's about people who drive, people who engineer, people who plan, people who know how to put it all together. Meet the people who make the cars go round every week on Raceline. Watch Raceline here every week.
Isn't it the worst when your kids are trying to do homework and the webpage won't load? Or you're trying to buy airline tickets to your next vacation destination and the checkout keeps timing out? When you switch to HBC's fast and reliable broadband internet service, these frustrations will be a thing of the past. Not only is the service fast and reliable, but it's backed by a 30-day guarantee and free local 24/7 Wizards technical support. Visit hbci.com to learn more or call 888-474-9995. Watch The Tom Sawyer Show on HBC TV 25. Brought to you by Wellington's Pub and Grill. WSU head football coach Tom Sawyer and HBC's Justin Barrientos will take an inside look at the WSU football program as they talk about this year's season. Watch The Tom Sawyer Show Wednesday through Friday at 5 p.m. and right before the Warrior home games on HBC TV 25. The Tom Sawyer Show is brought to you by Wellington's Pub and Grill.
And welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show here on HBC TV 25, brought to you by Wellington's Pub and Grill. And Coach Sawyer, you were talking about the future before. Here's Owen Burke, quarterback, with us.
Yeah, Owen, how you doing?
Good.
Glad you're here, man. Well, let's get right to it. Second start out at Southwest, kind of close to home. Well, closer to home. Talk about your second start and how it went for you out at Southwest.
Just, had a lot of fun out there. Just tried to, be patient, be confident out there. Had all the confidence in the world just knowing that I had such a good defense on my team and older guys around me out there making plays, and just had a fun time.
Let's make a comparison from the first game out at Minot to this game. And how much different is it now for you to have that second start behind your belt?
Nerve-wise, very different.
With so many new
just
items
knowing
on the
that
menu
got
at
one out of the
Wellington's
way, and like I said, just having the confidence of my teammates, and that is the world of difference right there.
The other thing that Justin and I were talking about is, the preparation for the week. Really, at Minot, you got thrown into the fire. This week, you knew from the first thing that we were ready to go, and you were going to be the guy. How much different does that make for your preparation?
Oh, that was definitely a big difference. Just knowing that everything I put into film and the playbook that is actually going to matter that week, instead of just getting thrown in that Thursday like Minot. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I want to take you back. As Coach said, you were closer to home by playing at Southwest. You're from Colorado.
Yes, sir.
So how do you end up here at Winona State from Colorado?
Just got a phone call one night from Coach Keller at Winona State. Never heard of the school really, and took my visit out here and fell in love with the place, fell in love with the people and the town and football program, and couldn't be happier.
All right, I want to talk a little bit about the numbers that you put up. You put over 3,000 yards your last 2 years in Colorado, maybe even more than that. I didn't see anything before that. And you had several 500-plus yard games. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about those games and what you remember from some of that?
Just going out there and having fun, and just like here, having good weapons on offense, just try to get my guys the ball, and they just do all the work after that.
What does it feel like to have a game? The one game you had more completions than anybody in Colorado State history in high school, and you almost broke another record in that game as well. I think it was like 597 yards passing in that game. When you're going through that, does it seem like everything that you're doing is right?
Yeah, you definitely have those games where things are clicking and everything just seems to be coming out well, and yeah, definitely those are definitely fun games to have.
When we talk about how hard it is to play quarterback and how hard it is in our system, there's a lot of pieces to it, but just take us through what has been the most challenging part of learning how to play quarterback within our system.
Definitely the offense, just trying to know how every route and every combination goes together with every formation, and all the way just to the snap count and those kind of things, being able to adjust the defenses, coverages, defensive fronts, those kind of things, and also just being able to lead the offense, knowing that, shoot, we got pretty much every lineman out there is 2 or 3 years older than me, just trying to be able to lead those kind of guys.
You talk about that leadership up front and having confidence to be able to sit back there in the pocket and throw the football around. But, going into this week, we got another big opponent in Augustana. We've lost to them the last 2 years in the last second. What do the Warriors have to do, especially offensively, and you in this case, What do we have to do against these guys on Thursday night?
I think keeping the ball, eliminating all turnovers, that's definitely going to help, and just going out there and have fun and let our playmakers make plays.
You guys are talking about speed of the game and difference between high school and college. Having that redshirt year last year, how much did that set you up for this year?
Oh, that's to me that was very important. Nobody really likes to be redshirt at first. It kind of stinks. You don't play football for a year, but that makes all the difference. Getting your weight up, getting the strength, getting to know the program, the guys, and ultimately just getting in the groove of college and college football. But I think the redshirts here is one of the most important years for sure.
All right, I know one of the kind of cliches is football is life, but that's kind of the way that it is for you. I looked at your recruiting profile and you were telling other colleges that were taking a look at you that when other kids are playing Legos or going with action figures, you were picking up a football and you were throwing a football around. How much does football mean to you?
Football means the world to me. I missed my junior year prom for football camps, and football got me, into college, that kind of thing. And so football is a big part of my life, and it always has been.
Right.
The last thing I have for you is talk about the adjustment to having the Warrior family here in Winona become your real family, because you are a long ways from home and you don't see your parents that often. But how was that adjustment from being quite a ways from home?
Oh, that's huge. Just knowing that I only get to go home a few times out of the year, and just knowing that from the upperclassmen to lowerclassmen that you always got guys having your back, always got somewhere to go if you're lonely, or even the coaches like you and Coach Kelly, just knowing that if I just need to talk to somebody, just give them a call, and really just getting a whole different family away from my family.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you for joining us
Thank
here,
you.
and good luck in your future here at Winona State.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Tom Sawyer Show. When we come back, we'll go defense with Romario Gale. That's right after this.
What's a Southern girl? It's waking up before the sun rises. It's loving the simple things in life, like the dirt roads that lead you home. It's working hard to get what you want. It's hanging your own stands, breaking your own ground, and strategizing every little move for that one moment when everything you've worked for is standing right in front of you. Even if I fail a million times, I keep pushing myself till I'm exhausted, filthy, and about to give up. And that's when the adrenaline hits.
Is the best at Sam Bradford. Now he's playing an unbelievable level. This is how it is. Let's get right to it. Just roll.
Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday, delivering Hall of Fame commentary, matchup analysis, and live reporting from every game all season long.
With so many new items on the menu at Wellington's Pub and Grill, you're in for some tough decisions. 6 different salads, homemade soups, huge wraps, juicy steaks, the Wells' own smokehouse ribs, and as always, the best burgers in town. See, we told you it wasn't going to be easy. Log on to wellingtonspubandgrill.com for daily lunch and evening specials. With so many choices for lunch and dinner, you can never come to this well too often. Technology. It's supposed to make our life easier, but sometimes the simplest of devices can cause some pretty complex problems. Computer viruses, connection issues, even remotes. Don't freak out when you're in need of technical support. Geek out with HBC Wizards. From general service questions to computer care and repair. Call us 24/7 for local assistance on your schedule, or visit your local office for convenient drop-off and pickup of your tech gear. Visit hbci.com/wizards to learn more, or call 888-474-9995.
Linda, will you carry this up to Jonathan? I have advice for the newlyweds moving into their dream home. Give her more closet space. We've just thrown a massive renovation on our plate. This house is indestructible. Plus, we're trying to get ready for the wedding. Ta-da!
I don't think we'll have any problems.
We did hit some clay pipe, which I hope isn't the sewer. Welcome to your new life.
All new Property Brothers at Home, Drew's Honeymoon House, November 22nd at 9 on HGTV.
And welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show here on HBC TV 25, brought to you by Wellington's Pub and Grill. Coach Sawyer, you brought the MVP with you.
That's right. Romario, thanks for being here, buddy.
Good to be here.
We got this big old sledge we showed earlier on the show, and you got to bring one home.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you were able to secure the sledge for yourself as the MVP.
Going into the game, I would have to say I was a little bit nervous. It was my first game, actually playing the entire game. Also starting my first game, so to be honest, I wasn't really going into the game worrying about coming out with the MVP trophy. I was just trying to make sure I was doing my job, being where I was supposed to be, and trying to make plays for my teammates and for the team as well. So getting that trophy was probably one of the biggest accomplishments I ever did, and I know my parents were very proud of it, and my dad said he'll find something to do with it, so we'll see what happens with it. So,
you know, the other thing about the game is, you know, we were sitting at dinner, Justin, the night before, and we had the freshmen go up there, and there was a whole bunch of them, and sophomores, compared to about 8 seniors that were on the trip. We have a youth movement going on, and great athletes. Talk about being one of those young athletes at Winona State right now.
Well, my freshman year, I found out I wasn't going to be redshirting, and that was just a confidence booster, knowing that my coaches, they think highly of me and think I can be on the field as a freshman and make an impact on the team. So, and seeing this freshman class come in, and also the same thing from last year, we're bringing in a lot of talent, and it's gonna eventually be in our favor in years to come. So, those guys are helping us out, and we have a bright future with all those freshmen and sophomores.
Awesome.
Let's talk about the defense in general, because as you said, you played last year, you played this year, and the defense has been so dominant these last 2 years. What do you attribute that to? Where does this whole dominance come from for the Warrior defense?
Well, I think our success defensively is our coaches and our players. We pride ourselves in getting the ball back for our offense. So we just try to create a lot of turnovers as much as possible. Like I said, give the ball back to our offense so they can have a lot less field position to work with, get in the end zone. So we just try our best to create turnovers and give the ball back to our offense.
Well, you did that this week. You had a forced fumble in the game against Southwest. Can you tell us about that play?
That play, I just saw their number 3 receiver. He ran a bubble route, so I just kind of broke on it. And I saw he wasn't as protective of the ball as he should have, so I just was able to get a hand in there and rip it out. Unfortunately, we didn't recover it, but we came out with the W.
You know, going into this week, and we had Trey Tellez scored a touchdown. He's a freshman kid. We got Cam Gavman. He's your age. We have Owen Burke. That's your age. What does this young group have to do to continue to grow so we can even be better on the field this week?
I think we just need to understand film session better. I know Andrew Spencer, a guy who's my position, he plays my position. He's always telling me just stay in the film room, just understand what you're supposed to be doing, and I think that's a big part of how we can grow from sophomores into juniors next year. Just understand what we're supposed to be doing and try to create as less mistakes as possible.
Okay.
All right, last question that I have for you. I understand that Winona State was the first school to offer you something in college. Did that kind of tip the scales in Winona State's favor?
I would say so. I mean, yeah, they were the first school to offer me, but I think when Winona State did offer me, I think I was going to commit right away because just the love the coaches showed for me. Multiple coaches came to my house. We went out multiple times. They came to some of my practices during my last year of high school. So, I mean, just the love they showed towards me, I knew this would be a great fit for me.
And the last thing I have for you, going ahead, and we don't talk about a lot to the team, but talking about postseason, what would it mean to you to have an opportunity to play in the NCAA Championship Series?
It would mean a lot to me. I know most of the guys on the team, juniors and seniors, haven't been there at all. So for me being there as a sophomore, that would mean a lot to me. I just want to see how far this team can go, and I know we can go pretty far.
Okay, right. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for joining us here today.
No
We're going to take a break here on the Tom Sawyer Show. When we come back, we'll talk about the Augustana game coming up and more. That's on TV 25 right after this.
Imagine streaming your favorite 4K Ultra HD movie with no buffering or pixelation, even when your kids are gaming in the next room. Better yet, experience it with unlimited internet data usage and the fastest speeds around. Whether you're an occasional video snapper or a full-season streamer, HBC can take you into the next generation of possibilities. Visit hbci.com to learn more or call 888-474-9995 to sign up for fast, limitless internet.
What's a Southern girl? It's waking up before the sun rises. It's loving the simple things in life like the dirt roads that lead you home. It's working hard to get what you want. It's hanging your own stands, breaking your own ground, and strategizing every little move for that one moment when everything you've worked for is standing right in front of you. Even if I fail a million times, I keep pushing myself till I'm exhausted, filthy, and about to give up. And that's when the adrenaline hits.
Is the best at Sam Bradford. Now he's playing at an unbelievable level. Football. This is how it is. Let's get right to it. Just roll.
Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday. Delivering Hall of Fame commentary, matchup analysis, and live reporting from every game all season long.
With so many new items on the menu at Wellington's Pub and Grill, you're in for some tough decisions. 6 different salads, homemade soups, huge wraps, juicy steaks, the Wells' own smokehouse ribs, and as always, the best burgers in town. See, we told you it wasn't going to be easy. Log on to wellingtonspubandgrill.com for daily lunch and evening specials. With so many choices for lunch and dinner, you can never come to this well too often.
And welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show, brought to you by Wellington's Pub and Grill here on HBC TV 25. Coach Sawyer, just a couple more minutes left to go here. And I got to throw out some numbers. I know you really love it when I do things like this, but if you're able to win this week against Augustana, there you go.
Okay.
It'll be the 6th 10-win season in program history.
Yep.
There have been 105 football seasons in Winona history, and all 6 of those 10-win seasons would be under your watch. What do you think about when you hear numbers like that?
It means I'm getting old. No, it's just, kind of full of pride. That over the 20 years, you put your team in a place to be able to be successful over time. Our first ones were back in the late 90s, and then, what we did in the middle of 2000s, and here we are now making another run. So I've been very blessed to be here, and to have those kind of numbers is awesome. And I just know that the future is even brighter for what we're doing around our program right now.
All right, the game is Thursday night. It's Augustana, and as you said coming into the studio today, they've had your number over the past couple of years. What do you do this week against Augustana? Well,
we stay away from the last second. That's been a mantra of ours now the entire year. Right. I sent it out again to our team today. We had a Hail Mary that didn't go our way at the end of the year, although we caught it at Augustana last year, 2 years ago. With 1 second left on the clock, we were on top of the quarterback. He flipped it up over his head. They caught the touchdown to beat us. So they've had our number in that way. So we're out to make sure that doesn't happen again. But there's so much more to this game than there was the last 2 years. So we have a lot more riding on it. So our kids are focused. They're ready to go. We practiced late on Sunday night, and we are ready to go.
All right, last thing. It is a short week. You talked about the injuries. How healthy are you coming into this game?
Well, right now, due to not playing some kids last week, we'll be as healthy right now as we were when we started the season. And we have all of our guys, but maybe one that'll be available to play in the football game. So when you get to week 11 and can say that in a big game, and especially on a short week, I feel really good to where we're going to be, and to walk out there and to be almost at full strength is a huge advantage, especially playing in a short week.
All right. Well, good luck this week against Augustana.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us here on the Tom Sawyer Show on TV 25. We'll see you next week here on HBC.